And welcome back. Meet the candidate. Now we have Jason Bergeron running for Terrebonne Parish President. Jason, welcome aboard. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate you doing this and spreading the word of all the candidates.
Yeah, well, thank you for running too. It means a lot for people to put their name up. It's not an easy thing to do, is it?
It's interesting because I've had a lot of people say, you're crazy for doing this. And honestly, I'm running because I felt a calling to run. Beginning of 2021, I just felt in my heart it was something that I should take my time and put it towards making our parish better. And the best opportunity to do that was running for parish president.
And that was sort of my next question is, why are people running? So obviously you said you had people talking to you, but when you boil it down, why did you get in? What did you see?
So, and when I say people talk to me, I'm talking about since I've recently announced.
Yeah.
But, just looking at our region and area, our parish, in the small businesses that I own and some of the things that I see going on in the area, again, I just felt that calling to run. A lot of times I tell people, it started with that I have a daughter that's a junior at LSU. And when she graduates, she's talking about moving away. My son's a sophomore at Vanderbilt. He's talking about moving away. And I just hear a lot of people moving out of the area, how many people moving into the area, and we've lost population. We're fourth in the country and lost population over the last year. And I know a lot of that's contributed to Ida, but I think, there's some things that we've been battling on for a long time with the oil and gas industry and trying to keep that alive as we fight the nation with everything they're doing. It seems to put us out of business. And so I felt that I could do the most work locally and just want to make a difference and leave Terrebonne Parish better than what I found it.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about yourself for those that are watching that maybe haven't met you yet. I know your lovely wife came with you in the studio, but give us a little synopsis of who is Jason Bergeron.
So you mentioned my lovely wife, Angel. We've been married for 10 years. I have two stepchildren, Aiden and Maddie, and make them my world. Everything I do is for my family and for God, of course, putting God first. But small business owner, I had technology professionals for 16 years. I sold out of that. I have a telemedicine company that works in occupational medicine. I have a business consulting company that helps companies be more profitable, more efficient, more productive. I have a development company that works with process automation, with technology, and then I have an IT company. And then from there, I've been involved in the community for 25 years. Treasurer of the Hatch Grant currently. I just finished leading Relay for Life for a couple years. Chair of the Chamber, president of Bioregion Crime Stoppers, president of Terranians. I've just gotten involved in committees and organizations to help take them to the next level. And that's what I want to do for our parish.
As parish president, there's a lot of job functions, a lot of roles. But one of them is capital outlay. Each parish president got to put a capital outlay plan together, and they got to mark, all right, what's more important? What's my priorities? If you get elected, what would be your capital outlay that you would submit to the state? Any ideas?
So when I look at, what's going on in our parish and the areas that we need some things that we can improve upon. And when I say improve, I'm not saying that anybody's necessarily done anything bad. I'm just saying that some things that help move us forward, help take us to the next level. And so when I look at quality of life, infrastructure, economic development, those are areas that I look at. A lot of the conversations I'm having are around roads and bridges, but the fact that a lot of our roads and bridges are state run. I think there's some opportunities for us to take some of that under our wings and manage that at a local level. I think, of course, quality of life involved in some projects to help move us forward in that arena, because to attract people, we can get all the major employees, but it's the families that are maybe hesitant to come to this area. So when I look at quality of life, just doing things that help revitalize our area, everything from recreational activities to business incubation, doing incentives when it comes to working with businesses and helping them grow and invest, and it's working where we diversify our economy and offer opportunities to be a planned site and have where businesses can basically just move on in and get to work. And so there's opportunities in a few different areas to help, move Terrebonne forward is my slogan, because that's what I want to do. And I look at the fact that, if we were number one in everything, we wouldn't have any areas to improve, but we're not number one. And a lot of times we end up being middle of the road. And so just projects and plans that we can put in place to help us with our families that have an opportunity to grow their families, keep the children and grandchildren from moving away, and for also providing for our economy to grow. And we have a lot of opportunity with technology, which is my background, to assist some of the industries that we already have in place.
Yeah. Let's talk
And
about
really
this
move us forward.
because with each parish president, I've seen their strong points and their weak points. We all have them, let's face it. I think it would be probably unanimous to say that the last parish president, Gordon Dove, who's still parish president, has been unprecedented when it comes to levees and water control structures and restoration projects. Of course, we could go back to Bubby Lines. Everybody had their own strength. So when we talk about levees and water control structures, what would you add? Would you keep it mostly the same? Do you have new ideas on where we should go there? And what are your thoughts on that aspect?
So I want to start off by saying that, you know, without protecting what we have, we wouldn't even be an area that I could run for parish president, right? We have the potential to be underwater. And so, you know, when you look at projects along those lines, I know moving water is something that we've been working on for a long time, and there's always opportunities there to ensure, you know, we're fighting insurance and everything that comes along with the fact that our levees aren't recognized. And so just ensuring that we are protected, that if we have any weak points, make sure that those points are closed in. And at the same time, working on building marsh and doing different things to help give us better protection, everything from the barrier islands, you know, levees and pumps. If you have it, you have to make sure it works. You have to make sure that you have failovers. And there are, I think, some opportunities there to ensure that we have a strong system and that that system has some failback points. And, you know, we learn every time a storm comes through. There's different things. Every storm comes in a different way and has different damage. And so we just got to make sure that we have plans in place. We have things that we can use to make sure that, you know, we try to cover for everything that we might have a problem with when the next storm comes through, but just making sure we have that closed system, but at the same time are pushing out and building protection to help make sure the storms don't hit as hard.
And as we go to a break, let's just make sure we don't have another Hurricane Ida.
Yes, sir.
Can you guarantee that as parish?
I'm praying for it for sure.
All right. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with Jason Bergeron, candidate for parish president right here in Terrebonne Parish.
Don't give up. At Waits & Downer Law Firm, we want to make sure that you have all the facts when dealing with your insurance company. We have the legal experience and ability to make them pay. Get the help you need. At Waits & Downer, it's our goal to not only get you a full damage recovery, but to get the insurance company to reimburse your legal fees. Call today for a free consultation. We are local and we are here to stay. Let our years of experience work for you.
Terrebonne General Health System is the largest healthcare resource in Southeast Louisiana, offering a high-tech and high-touch style of healing. World-renowned services include cardiology, women's health, cancer care, and a healthy lifestyle center.
This is a true calling for all the physicians, nurses, and staff who make up our proud Terrebonne General family. We are here to provide health care for our community.
To discover more, please visit tghealthsystem.com.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our offered team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
The new generations of Hondas are here at Barker Honda.
The all-new Accord, head of its class, miles ahead.
All new 2023 HRV and CRV.
And Pilot, built for every driving need. Family favorite Odyssey has all new trim levels.
Go everywhere with Passport. And the award-winning Civic.
The generation for every generation. And always remember, it's better at Barker.
All right, we're back meeting the candidates. Jason Bergeron is our guest. He's a candidate for the parish president of Terrebonne. And let's go to oil and gas. Big arena. We all have to agree, along with seafood. Oil and gas, seafood, all part of our community. Recently, I've been hearing talk, a lot of companies may be thinking about relocating because sort of the climate, there's legal climates, there's all kind of different things happening. As parish president, what would you do to sort of woo these companies back and say, okay, guys and gals, let's sit at the table, let's work it out. What kind of plans would you have? Because it's an integral part of our community.
I really feel like that when you look between Lafayette and Houma, it is actually one of the most innovative places in the world. If you can imagine, a lot of people that don't have high school education or barely have a high school education have created this industry that we live and support, our families off of. And so, my dad's a diesel mechanic. He was a diesel mechanic, retired for 47 years. And so I've been around oil and gas industry for my entire life. And I either work directly or indirectly for an oil and gas companies. And when I look at our region, even if you own a restaurant, you're working at some level off of an oil and gas industry, company or service company and everything. And so the lawsuits, I think, is something that we need to stop. When I look at the fact that who would want to work in an area that there's a potential of being sued for, I don't know of any company that's going to take that deal. And so we have to make sure that the oil and gas companies know that we're very welcoming to the industry. Everybody is definitely going to the alternative fuels. It's to have a conversation about the energy industry instead of oil and gas. All the things that we could do for carbon offsets is definitely a potential industry that's going to have a lot of opportunities in our region. But just letting oil and gas companies know that, we basically created it here. 20% of the nation's energy comes through our region, and that we fully support the advancements. And when I talk about technology and everything going from drones and automated vessels, pipe handling and everything that happens, where you're looking at most of that stuff becoming automated and technology related, we can be a leader in the region and in the country for developing technologies that help these oil and gas companies be more efficient, be more productive, and be more profitable.
And we can't forget about the seafood industry, which is always the local seafood industry fighting the imports.
Yes, sir. And I've had some conversations recently about it because I've actually been working with some companies to help them take their the products that they work with to market. And so I've partnered up with Sea Grant, with Fletcher, Nichols, Sleck, Tita, Port, and we're looking to do something where we can help our fisheries. We call a program called Catch to Market, and we're actually looking to see what we can do. In some situation, it might be something as simple as branding, looking at profitability, looking at opportunities of what products they have or could create, and helping them better compete against the imports that are being pushed in from other countries producing too much. Yeah. And so our fisheries and our oil and gas, you look at both of those industries are about 100 years old. And we've been riding those booms for this long, and it's definitely some opportunities to help them diversify and offer products that, for example, one company I'm working with does organic fertilizer. There's definitely some opportunities for our fisheries and our oil and gas companies to diversify and do some things that help move us forward for the next 100 years.
One of the big jobs of parish president is planning and zoning. Now, I've worked with several administrations. I've been on the desk interviewing many parish presidents. Some keep their planning and zoning in-house, some sub it out, for lack of a better word. What do you feel about planning and zoning? Would that be something you keep in-house, or would you look at somebody else to do planning and zoning?
So when I look at planning and zoning, and I look at any department inside parish government, there's really not an opportunity to make that decision until you're in the seat. And one of the things I do in one of my companies is I go into companies and I evaluate them, and I look at everything from job descriptions to processes, procedures. And at the end of the day, it's what you can do for the most efficient cost and looking to get the best bang of your buck. And I believe in having buy-in of the department managers and understanding what they feel are important to issues and things that we need to do. And I've been telling people there's two promises I'm going to make. I'm not promising jobs. I'm not promising work. I'm not doing those things. I'm promising two things. I'm going to work hard every day to make Terrebonne Parish better. And I guarantee you the other promise is that we're going to get the right people in the room to have a conversation and make decisions to get things done. And it's not going to be just me making that decision. It's going to be the people that deal with this stuff every day making decisions of whether or not we should keep permitting where it is or let it go back to South Central Planning. But at the end of the day, making decisions that to do what's best for the parish and our residents.
All right. Let's talk about insurance. Naturally, after Ida, everybody's having insurance problems. But that's another thing that's causing people to think about relocating, because some people can't. Their insurance is more than their mortgage. As parish president, you don't really make that call, but you're involved in the conversation with the state and the feds. What would that mean to you?
So when I look at insurance and the fact that we lost 5% of our population right after Ida, and since that time within the last year, we've lost another 5%. And insurance is one of the driving factors for that, along with people just not wanting to deal with hurricanes. But some of the conversations I've had with both our local, our state, and our federal delegation has been around changing the way we do things. And so it's still, one of the reasons why I'm running is historically I always hear that's how we've always done it. Government can't move fast, government can't be efficient. And when you look at the battle that we're fighting with the Flood Risk Ready 2.0, the fact to me that we still call it a flood risk program is outdated. Because when you look at the flooding that happened in California with all the rain, 80% of those homes didn't have flood insurance. And so FEMA's dealt out about $96 billion and collected about $60 billion in their program. But people aren't putting into it. When they did the rating raise, the rise of premiums, 1 million homeowners dropped out of it immediately. So in a situation where they were trying to become more profitable or at least break even, they lost customers. And so when you look at transitioning to something more of like a disaster plan, where we have more people that put in and it affects everything from flooding to tornadoes to hurricanes, blizzards, wildfires, and you have more people put into the system, it allows for the premiums to come down and more people spread the load.
All right, let's do this. We'll take a break. We'll come back with our final segment with Jason Bergeron, candidate for parish president right here in Terrebonne Parish.
A.J. Doman Chevrolet is happy to announce that we're South Louisiana's newest Car Bravo dealer. Now you can buy any used car or truck with the confidence of a certified warranty and over 4,000 dealers to back it up. Not finding what you're looking for? Car Bravo offers up to an additional 500 units available online.
Visit us on the web at ajdomanchevy.com or at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge in Berwick.
At South Louisiana Bank, we're great at banking, but we're great at a lot of other stuff too.
Is that a new rod and reel?
Hey, a girl's got a fish.
We care about the community we live in and the people we serve. We're not just like you. We are you.
Are you boiling crawfish?
No, just letting them soak.
We're proud to be here and work for the place and the people we love. South Louisiana Bank. It's in the name.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
Here in South Louisiana, we know how important it is to protect our families.
When one of our neighbors is injured because of someone else's neglect, our team is compelled to use our experience, skills, and knowledge to seek justice and hold wrongdoers accountable. If you've been injured and want to know your rights, call St. Martin and Bourke today.
All right, welcome back as we are interviewing Jason Bergeron, a candidate for Terrebonne Parish president. And Jason, I guess you knew a recreation question. would come up. I guess everybody expects a recreation question, but God, there was so much debate on recreation. There's so much back and forth on it. Many people had good plans, but naturally you got to settle on a plan and you got to move forward. How do you feel about recreation? Are we in the right direction? What would you do as parish president to tweak it or change it? Or tell me what your thoughts are.
I definitely believe we are moving in a better direction of recreation. I worked with the chamber back in 2018, just having a conversation about, what did recreation look like in Terrebonne Parish? And at the end of the day, to me, it's getting access to, to facilities and to programs. And recreation has changed from what it used to be. It used to be, it was kind of baseball, football. Now it's evolved. It's soccer, it's running, it's pickleball, it's all these different other activities. And one of the things I've been working on is actually a esports summer camp that actually provides opportunities for people that are probably a little disserviced or underserved to get access to devices. Louisiana is third to last in access to devices. And when you look at, access to devices and access to broadband, you really run into a situation where with having those devices and that broadband, you have more opportunities. And so I think when it comes full circle to look at recreation and having the opportunity for kids to be outside and be kids, and also at the same time looking at recreation for all ages, and including, up to our senior population, and making sure that you can have available access to just facilities, programs, and then just ensuring that our residents are being served. I think each area of our parish has a different need, and the conversation I transitioned from was from recreation to more of a quality of life conversation, and understanding the needs and requirements of quality of life for all residents of our parish and ensuring that we're meeting their needs.
Mesh, and you sort of alluded to this, and since you answered your questions in short order, I have time for another one, but we talk about bringing the spotlight to younger kids with maybe gaming classes. They all love gaming. They all love different things. But the workforce, I talk to many restaurants, and they say, we're in trouble because we can't find people to work. Naturally, as parish president, that's right in anybody's wheelhouse who would be elected. What are your thoughts on how do we get a workforce here in Terrebonne?
So I think understanding, to solve a problem, I feel like you have to understand what's causing the problem. And through some conversations with the U.S. Chamber, they discovered that through the baby boomers retiring and the people below those baby boomers moving up, you basically had a shortage of people, because when you look at, like, for example, my dad's youngest is 16 kids, and those families had 4 kids, 3 kids, and then those families below that had 1 or 2 kids. Just in sheer numbers, you're looking at the fact that when baby boomers retire, with that and a combination of COVID with legal and illegal immigration, which have a direct correlation to each other, you ended up with a 13 million person shortage of workforce in the country as a whole. And so looking at, the people that are leaving our area, we got to stop that, that bleed, and stop it where people are leaving and want to come back. And that's one of the things I've been able to do in my companies, is being able to bring people home and provide them opportunities that have moved away. And so there are opportunities to have our current workforce. You look at, we're low in unemployment, but we don't have anybody that's working. And so understanding that conversation and understanding, what opportunities people have when they graduate. When students graduate from high school, of those that graduate, which those numbers have continually gone up, but how many of those students are moving away? How many are going to technical college? How many are going to college? How many are going to work on a shrimp boat? How many are going to be mechanics? And just understanding from a pure numbers perspective to see, it might be something as simple as they don't feel like they have an opportunity, or they're having to go work to support their family for some reason in a certain industry. But coming back to providing the diversified economy and opportunities that people have to work. Basically, you could work anywhere and live here, and then that'll push a little bit more to actually working here and living here.
We've got about a minute left, so I'll work one other question in. What would downtown look like to you in about 4? If you were parish president, 4 years into your administration, what would it look like downtown?
It would be full of foot traffic, businesses, and this is not just downtown, but an entire parish, and just the opportunity, to revitalize a couple of projects that I've been a part of, as far as putting the bandstand downtown, kayak launches, working with some incentives and having businesses that are incentivized to invest, but, full of residents, full of businesses, full of things to do and opportunities where no matter what age you are, you come downtown and spend time with your family and spend the money that you've worked hard for and from the opportunities that have been provided for really moving Terrebonne Parish forward.
Right. Jason, we want to thank you for coming by. We appreciate it. And we have a lot more to come. We have a long road to the race, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate you sharing the information that all the candidates have.
All right. We'll be right back right around the corner. A lot more to come right here on Bayou Time.